Welcome to Lanai's Travel Club, where we're about to embark on a delectable journey around the world. Get ready for a culinary escapade like no other as we savor the most mouth-watering dishes in diverse corners of the globe. This time, we're stamping our passports in a city rich with history. Join us as we explore the tastes, textures, and traditions that define each destination. So grab your appetite and let's dive into an unforgettable eating adventure. Ooh. Today we're in Belem, back with our friend who's taking us to see the sights and giving us a little history.
This is a monument built in the 1950s by our former dictator, Antonio Salazar. Salazar felt he needed to reinforce his strength, bringing back that pride to be Portuguese. So he builds this because, you know, the most glorious period of our history in terms of like economics and even like world domination per se, an empire, was during this period of time, the 1500s and onwards, when we owned almost half of the world. So at the wheel is probably the most important man of them all, Henry the Navigator. That guy is the man that kickstarts this sea expansion. He's the main instigator to build the first sailing school, which would become very important for us.
Boy, the artist did an amazing job, huh?
Do
you know how long it took?
5 years or so. This was
That's
not
it?
that. Yeah, this was not too long.
Use a chisel, sandpaper, maybe.
You guys can come as well over here. The majority of the people on this side are artists or say priests, monks. At the bottom we have the queen here, Philippa of Lancaster. She's basically the mother of this generation of kings and conquerors and the whole second dynasty of our country. So a very important woman for us.
They all got interesting haircuts.
Yes. This statue is similar to the real one in terms of what it represents. It's the bishops of Portugal gathering around to honor God for keeping us away from the Second World War, okay? And then we have the bridge. The bridge used to be called originally Salazar Bridge.
Stepped in the hole. It was like a huge hole over there.
I mean, he's gonna get a much better picture that way. Much more natural smile. This is the oldest building we have using the Manuelian architecture that is fully preserved. It was started in 1503, and this was supposed to be Lisbon's ultimate defense. What this is, in fact, is basically a bunker. So all of these little towers that you see everywhere, there's 16 of these towers. All of them had some sort of cannon. This whole area used to be surrounded by water. So this tower, in fact, was kind of like an island, kind of like an Alcatraz, if you will. And eventually that's what it was. And this king, he converted this into a prison for politicians. So people that opposed the Spanish regime.
Really?
Yeah, yeah.
I know some politicians that would do well in here.
Yeah, I think we all do. I think we all do.
Anybody got to use the restroom? When you're done, meet right here. I always tell people when you visit another country and you want to see fine art, like old art, visit a church. The art in here, spectacular. Portugal has some of the best. The art on the wall, it's a lot of year-olds. It's a lot year-olds. The art on the wall. The art on the wall, it's old.
So this is what we call pastel de nata. It actually started over there on the monastery. Back in the 1800s, the monks didn't have a lot of money. They need to make enough to feed all of the mouths in there. So they would use the egg whites to iron the clothing. But
Like
then
a
they
star-
had
like a starch.
yeah, and then they had a lot of leftover egg yolks. So they ended up starting mixing it with sugar and creating this pastry. This shop is also interesting because its recipe is the only like known one to be recognized as the Belem one. There's legends around this, okay? People said that they always use the same tray because one day they actually changed the tray. They were not as good. There's another legend that says it's a secret recipe. So the guys over here, they always travel separately. So that you don't
Can't
lose
lose
the
that
recipe.
recipe.
Yeah, so it's quite an interesting shop in itself.
I hate to interrupt you, but let's go get another one.
Yeah.
Come on. A lot of history here, boy. You know what? I like to eat mine. This is my fourth one today, by the way. I like to put a little cinnamon on mine, because that's the way you do it. You know what I'm saying? The consistency is amazing. The flakiness. I'm not gonna wet my mouth. I'm gonna leave whatever's on my mouth, on my mouth. And when we come back, more from Portugal. Don't go anywhere.